Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for Championship, not review and reaction. Should probably rewrite that. It should say preview and predictions for round number 44. Only 3 games to go for most teams now. There we go. Championship preview and predictions, round number 44, in what could be a massively decisive weekend for, well, let's not say it, not specifically. Watford could go up and Wycombe and Sheffield Wednesday could both go down this weekend. We could get some decisive matters. Let me know. You can see me, hear me loudly and clearly. It doesn't appear like I'm getting a great internet signal, so I hope everything's okay. But you don't have to mention it to me in the chat. I can see what we are looking at. Let's get into the action in just a minute. But first of all, we're going to say our thank yous and then we'll say some hellos in the comments as well. So big thank you to the Donovan brothers, in loving memory of Michael Donovan, a South East London lifelong Millwall fan, admirer of this show. Thank you so much to the Donovan brothers. Been here all season sponsoring this show. Very, very kind of them. They got involved over on Patreon. You can do the same. Exclusive shows. Apologies, Patreons. Classics Reviews is now not getting recorded until Tuesday. My bad. But we will get it done. Everything's planned, but Dave can't do this weekend, unfortunately. You can support via Super Chat at any point in the broadcast. First Super Chat has become King of the Bin. You can own the Fake News Simbin sponsorship and Pedant Corner. And of course, for the princely sum of absolutely nothing, thumbs up on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. There are your games coming up this weekend. No Friday night game tonight, but I am going to be on a Bournemouth channel tonight. So you can get your Benjamin Bloom fix if you particularly want to. Let's say hello to people in the chat. Liam, Martin, ready for the Golden Boys going up tomorrow. Could happen. Sophie, Carl, Steve, Leeds 2021, Peter, Andrew, Mr. E, Gaza, Phil, Alex, John, Will, Benjamin of the Bloom. That's me. Hopefully for a Glory Hornet promotion party. Nice. John, welcome. Dan, we are going up. Sing, we are going up. Nice. We'll see tomorrow. Could happen, couldn't it? Kelborn, welcome. Gaza. Mark, John, special guest joining. Yes, it's going to be exciting, isn't it, Daniel? And Alex, right, should we get into this nonsense then? There are the fixtures for round 44. So, 12:30, Brentford visit Bournemouth. Nice, nice small game to start the weekend off. You love to see it. Then the 3 p.m.s, we then get the next 9. Barnsley, Rotherham, Blackburn, Huddersfield, Cardiff, Wycombe, Coventry, Preston, Derby, Birmingham. All eyes on that one. Borough, Sheffield Wednesday, Forest, Stoke, QPR, Norwich, and of course, Watford, Millwall, which all eyes on that one at the top of the table. On Sunday, we'll do this as a watch-along. Reading versus Swansea and Bristol City versus Luton later in the day at 1 p.m. They'll overlap a little bit. I suppose we could super stream that, couldn't we? But we'll see what we're up to. There are the games. I need your assistance with the predictions. Robin, thank you very, very much. A $15 super chat. Come on, Wycombe. And of course, Norwich. We are struggling with the internet today. Please do not feel the need to tell me about it in the chat. I know. And hopefully your enjoyment of this wonderful stream will not be affected by my internet trying to catch up as we go. Right, let's go to the top of the table. And already promoted Norwich visit in-form QPR, who cannot reach the playoffs. So we are well and truly on the beach for this one. Get your predictions in, please. Don't worry about home or away. Just tell me who is at home. In fact, it's QPR, isn't it? Just tell me QPR, draw, or Norwich. QPR, draw, or Norwich in this one. Tricky one to figure out what the hell's going to happen. Norwich, obviously, since they secured promotion, have lost both their games, albeit to the other two Year 1 parachute teams. So, who are now currently making up the parachute cartel in second and third place. So, little drop off for Norwich, and they now cannot score 100 points. Can get to 99 if they can win their last 3 games. QPR have been in very nice form for quite a long time. We normally put it back to January and Johansson and Austin arriving, and I don't think they were playing 3-5-2 before that, but that sort of was when everything changed for QPR. Predictions in, please, guys. Norwich draw or QPR. And look at them now in 8th. Obviously, I'm already doing work on season reviews and things of that nature. QPR were well down the bottom in December, weren't they? Definitely in the bottom 6 for sure. And they've had a great second half of the season. Let's have a look at the homes and aways. Rangers are your home team, and they have 4 wins in 5 at home. Only that defeat to Huddersfield, with wins over Wycombe, Millwall, Coventry, and Sheffield Wednesday. So you might say some lower ranking opponents there. Norwich are, of course, the best away team in the division by a mile as well. Look at that. 45 points away from home. That's superb work from Norwich. 14 away wins. If everybody's chilled out and relaxed and on the beach, and this is very, very open, could get like Norwich winning 5-2 or something ridiculous in this one. Shall we see what you guys are saying in the chat? Right. First world problems. Hope our wobble is over. QPR held us at Carrow Road. Going to be a tough game. Rangers. There's 3 of them, Robin. I'm looking forward to them too. QPR, draw. High scoring draw. Liam knows how the beach works. Rangers, draw. Canaries, Rangers. Leroy Fair, beautiful. Norwich, draw. Norwich, Rangers, draw. QPR, draw. Norwich, can't imagine 3 losses on the bounce. Draw. Rangers, Norwich, entertaining draw. Norwich, draw. Read a tweet saying Eze regularly volunteers at his local church, delivering meals to the needy. What a guy, hey? What a player he was last season. I think Norwich is going to win 5-2 or something ridiculous like that. I think it's going to be so ridiculously open, it's not true. So I will go away. But I think Rangers are definitely going to score in this game for sure. Right. Fairly simple mathematics here when we're dealing with Watford versus Middlesbrough. If you predict a Watford victory in the next 2 or 3 minutes when we're talking about this, you are predicting Watford will be promoted at the weekend. Those 2 things, David Brent, those 2 things are definitive. If you predict Watford are winning this one, then they will be up. Watford versus Millwall, that magnificent home record. Millwall are the visitors. How do you see this one going? Get your predictions in, please. Watford, draw, or Millwall. And let's do it for the 1000th time. There is the league table. So, with Bournemouth playing Brentford. Remember, Bournemouth are not the team with the maximum upside because Brentford have a game in hand. So, in terms of Watford, it's actually Brentford in 5th you need to be looking at for maximum damage here rather than Bournemouth. Bournemouth winning all 3 of their games would only take them to 86 points, whereas Brentford winning all 4 of their games would, of course, take them to 87. So if Bournemouth win, they will still be on for that maximum 86. So Watford would need a win. If Brentford win, the same deal, basically. If it's a draw, that's quite good news for Bournemouth, for Watford, because Bournemouth would go to 78. Their maximum upside would then only be 84, so they couldn't catch Watford. Brentford, if they were to draw, they would go to 76. Their maximum upside would then be 85. So if it's a draw in the early kickoff, Watford would only need a point. And of course, a Watford win wraps it up. Nobody else can get 88 points this season other than Watford. Are they going to do it, though? You tell me. Do I really need to bring up the home form? We've done it so many times this season. Just eye-wateringly good home form from Watford. I don't know how many straight wins, whether that goes back more than 5 games, but 53 points scored at home. My God. Let's look at Millwall's away form. Pretty good across the season. 8th kind of lines up with roughly where they are in the table, doesn't it? 7 points in the last 3 away from home. They won at Derby, they won at Stoke, and they drew at Brentford. And that type of result just keeps things on edge. Could Millwall go there and get a 0-0? Remember, we're then into the realms of goal difference for Bournemouth, if that's the case. Remember, we will already know the Bournemouth and Brentford score before this game kicks off. Shall we have a look and see what you guys are saying? Predictions in Watford, draw, or Millwall? What are we saying? Let's go in here. Right, here we go. Watford, Millwall, draw. Watford. Millwall, party poopers. Watford, party. Watford. We're better away. Best home record. We've only been mentioning that for about the last 4 months, Martin, haven't we? Draw, Watford, relentless. Watford, you Orns. Millwall won't make it easy. Wouldn't want to be Elton John's cat this weekend. No pigeons anywhere near Elton's cat. Watford, Banker home. Wallace, Malone, Bennett, Zahor are all playing not fully fit. Watford. Crazy Millwall win. Draw. If Lions score first, they'll make it hard. If the Hornets score first, then I'll go for 3-0 either way, hiding behind the couch until 2 a.m, wherever Mark is. Where are you, Mark? Tremendous. Watford promotion inbound. Watford to an amazing turnaround promotion for Xisco. They were 1 point off the automatics when Xisco took over, but it has been a superb job by him. Watford, Millwall poor against Bournemouth. And Robin says Norwich. I think he might be on the previous game, mightn't he? Okay, let's do it then, guys. Announce promotion. Home. I think we're going to get points number 54, 55, and 56 for Watford, which would get them promoted. Which now makes the next game we're going to talk about a dead rubber, even though it's happening first. So there's no way it can be a dead rubber. But you know what I mean. When we're kind of doing it in this order, but in the order that time is actually going to unfold. Bournemouth play Brentford at 12:30. Get your predictions in, please. Bournemouth, draw, or Brentford. Remember, the worst result for Watford, the biggest cat amongst the pigeons result, is a Brentford victory. Brentford have a bigger upside point-wise. Currently, that may completely be not true tomorrow. Brentford have a bigger upside currently than Bournemouth do points-wise because they have a game in hand, which they play on Tuesday against Rotherham. Get your predictions in, please, guys. Bournemouth, draw, or Brentford. And how beautifully poised. Look at that. 3rd against 5th in round 44. You love to see it, don't you? If only we had more riding on it. Hey, does feel like the last throw-ins. So let's be straight about this. Watford can't be promoted by the end of this game. I think we've been over the permutations. If Bournemouth win, they can still catch Watford. If Brentford win, they can still catch Watford. If it's a draw, which way round is it? Brentford can still catch Watford. But again, we're then talking about consecutive wins for Brentford, consecutive losses. Although Brentford's goal difference is decent, isn't it? So nothing is going to be decided prior to 3 p.m. Put it that way. Let's look at the homes and aways. Bournemouth are obviously in a hell of a form, aren't they? 7 wins on the trot for the Cherries. Danjuma, brilliant. Billing, brilliant. Brooks back in the team. Solanke scoring. Solid at the back. Carter Vickers and Cook. Pearson working well in central midfield. Well done, Jonathan Woodgate. Excellent stuff. And getting Bournemouth organised. And they have the 3rd best home record behind the top 2 in the division. 3 straight victories. The only defeat there is to Barnsley. Brentford, though, just to even this up, have the 3rd best away record in the league. Decent of late as well. 8 points in 4. Wins at Blackburn and Preston. Draws at Huddersfield and Derby. Brentford obviously playing with that new sort of 3-5-2-ish system, but a few players kind of tweaked around in slightly different positions. Let's see what you guys are saying in this one. Bournemouth. Unhelpful draw. Bournemouth. Wow, this is pretty heavy on Bournemouth here. Draw. Bournemouth draw. Bournemouth by a couple. Bournemouth. Brentford, there's one, David. Draw, I'm naturally pessimistic. 8 on the bounce would equal a club record. Bournemouth win if the previous manager hadn't lost the dressing room. And Danjuma hadn't got injured either, Neil. All ifs, buts and maybes, but I don't disagree. Draw, says Andrew. Interesting to see if Frank persists with the 3. I think he will, Chris. But, yeah, it didn't work in the last game. Didn't he? Draw. Brentford, says Peter. Hi, Steve. Spending a weekend in Ballarat for my birthday. Where's that? Glad you found Ben as well. Lovely stuff. So a couple of shouts for Brentford. I'm going to go with the chat then. Let's go 8 straight wins. What are our records? So we had Cardiff did 6, didn't they? Did Barnsley do 7 or 8? Watford did 7 and Norwich did 9. I've probably got half of those numbers wrong. Let's go for Bournemouth to do 8. Home. They just look, Danjuma and Billing particularly, just look unstoppable at the moment. There is a theory in my head that they've gone too early, though. And if you go into the playoffs with potentially a 10-game winning streak, would they rest some players before the playoffs and just get that done for the superstitious people amongst you, superstitious football fans? That'll be all of you then. Let's move on. Reading versus Swansea. Nice matchup, fixed the computer. You got to love it. Reading versus Swansea. Predictions, please. Reading, draw, or Swansea. 2 sides faltering here. Get your predictions here. The Brendan Rodgers derby. I think we can safely call this one. Reading versus Swansea. And yeah, a bit of a sense that they're both trending downwards. Swansea have got 76 points. So they mathematically can still catch Watford. However, that involves 3 wins for Swansea, 3 defeats for Watford, and a 14-goal swing. It's not going to happen, is it? Even with Swansea catching Forest up last season, I don't believe that. Reading, 2 points in the last 3 games at a key time. Barnsley have put 6 points on in the last 3 games and opened up a 6-point gap. Swansea, they just need to get ready for the playoffs and get things looking tight and get a nice fit squad and get ready to go. Reading just have to win. They absolutely have to win. Remember, this game is on Sunday as well. So obviously, Barnsley, Brentford and Bournemouth can't all win because Brentford are playing Bournemouth. But Barnsley play Rotherham. They could be on 77 by that time. And then the worst case scenario for Reading then is actually a Brentford victory, because that would put Bournemouth, Brentford and Barnsley all on 77, with Reading on 68, 9 points behind already. And then it would have to be perfect from Reading between now and the end of the season. Reading need a Barnsley slip, don't they? For sure. Get your predictions in, please, guys. Reading, draw, or Swansea. Let's do the homes and aways. Reading, good home form, actually. Look at that, 11 points from the last 5. The slip-ups, well, the defeat certainly must have been away from home for Reading. Although they did nearly go under to Cardiff. Late goal in the last game. And, I mean, I say about defeats, I've said too many times on the channel, draws will kill you in a run. In Swansea's away form, very, very good. 37 points from 21 games. Only Norwich have scored more points away from home than the Swans. But how's this going to look by the time we get to Sunday? Because from Swansea's point of view, Watford could well already be up by then, couldn't they? And Swansea essentially are planning for the playoffs then. You just don't know what it does to the psychology of the players. Ballarat is one of the biggest historical gold regions of Victoria. Can you bring me some, please, Steve? That sounds nice. In Ben we trust. Thank you, Captain Nat. Right, here's your predictions, guys. Reading, draw. Reading, Swans, draw. Reading, draw. Reading, draw. Draw. Reading, draw. See where this is going. Reading, Swans. I wish I had your faith. Reading, draw. Playoff bus leaving Reading behind. Could be. Swans. Form is holding up later. Away form better than their home record. Reading and sipping. Afternoon, Brian. Draw. Don't think anyone at Reading believes they can still make the playoffs, including the players. That's bad news, Mr. E. As if Reading are going to miss the playoffs after winning the first 7 of the first 8, for sure, yeah. It might have been the first 7, actually. I know after 8, they had 22 points. Draw, unhelpful draw, Reading. Hit the like, absolutely, Reading. I think it'll be 1-1. I might go down your lot's route here and say a highly unhelpful and maybe decisive draw. You nearly saw me saying draw there. I always make sure the graphics up on the screen so you don't see me going, oh, which wouldn't look good. Please, no one take a picture of that. Now I've said that, somebody is going to, aren't they? Right. Let's move on to Barnsley versus Rotherham. Oof. This has implications at both ends of the table. Predictions, please. Barnsley, draw, or Rotherham? Yeah, get your predictions in. Barnsley, as we said, mathematically, they need 4 points as things stand right now to secure the playoffs. But I've just predicted a Reading draw. Of course, if that happens, Reading's upside would then only be 75, and a Barnsley win then guarantees the playoffs. I just did a bit of research before, and I was expecting to see, I paused the table at a certain point, expecting to see Watford at the top, and Barnsley was still at the top of it. And this is going back 15 games, 16 games, I think. So this latest run of 3 wins in 4 means Barnsley's form just, for months now has just been real. I mean, I'd need to look at the numbers. Probably automatic form for a lot of games, close to that 2 points per game for sure. In terms of Rotherham, it's all got a bit disappointing, hasn't it? Rotherham week began with a win and a draw, and then continued with 3 straight defeats, didn't it? All in those home games as well. 4 home games in a row. Lost to Coventry, lost to Birmingham, and lost to Middlesbrough. They are still in it, though, unbelievably. But this is not an easy game for Rotherham, is it, to go away to Barnsley? And Rotherham, well, they can't be relegated this weekend, can they? Because Derby, whilst they can get to 46, Rotherham would still have 4 games to play and would then still be able to get to 51 on paper. So it's not going to be all over if they do lose. But I suspect Rotherham would quite happily now take a Derby defeat and a loss if, just guarantee that they're still in it, maybe when a slightly easier game comes up. But hey, guys, it's the Championship, for goodness sake. We've seen stranger things than Rotherham turning up to Barnsley and winning. There's the Barnsley home form, 7 in the last 5. Most recently, they beat Middlesbrough. They've also beaten Birmingham. Draws with Derby and Reading. The only defeat in there. Sheffield Wednesday. That sums the Championship up, doesn't it? Rotherham's away form, 7 points in 4. Better than the home form, isn't it? Predictions, please, guys. Barnsley, draw, or Rotherham. Right, let's do this. 67 points in 36 games. So good. So good. Right, what are you guys saying here? That's all the gold I'm getting at the moment. Well done, Steve. Right. Barnsley. Oof. It's a do or die game for Rotherham. That's the only mention Rotherham have got. Barnsley, draw. Barnsley. The Barnsley train. Oh my God. This is absolutely, what's the word? When something is a landslide. There we go. Thinking of the Fleetwood Mac song. Rotherham win. There we go. Rotherham, there's a couple in there. Barnsley, draw. Barnsley. Did Crooks appeal? Anyone know? Can someone Google that? Because we need to know by now, wouldn't we? You ought to know by now. Who needs a house out in Hackensack? Anyone name that tune? Go on. See who's in there first. Name that tune. Guys, you're so unanimous. I can't go against a lot of you, can I? Home win for Barnsley. And by my math, I've predicted a Reading draw, which takes them to 69, a Barnsley win. That would lock the playoffs. We would then know who our 4 playoff teams were, but they can still switch places in the remaining games, can't they? Right. Where are we going next? I've got a funny feeling we're going to be heading to the beach very soon, aren't we? No, we're not, because it's Cardiff versus Wycombe. Predictions in, please. Cardiff versus Wycombe. Cardiff, draw, or Wycombe is all I need. Wycombe, God damn it, they're still in it. Turnaround, bright eyes. A turnaround victory at the hands of Bristol City in midweek. Akinfenwa sticks the penalty, and much to the joy of the live stream we were on at the time. And Wycombe can still stay up. Odds are against it, of course. If Derby were to win this weekend and Wycombe were to not win, Wycombe would be down. So Wycombe, let's just do all the permutations here. If Wycombe lose, their maximum upside is 43. So they could still be mathematically capable of surviving, but a defeat pretty much puts them down, doesn't it? Because of the huge disparity in the goal difference. You see minus 33 for Wigan, minus 20 for Derby. If Wycombe draw and Derby lose, that's still all right. They can still catch them. If Wycombe win, they could be within 3 points of Derby. So those are the permutations. Cardiff, you can see those last 5 games. I don't know if it stretches back any further than that, but Cardiff haven't won any of the last 5, and they are micking it out, aren't they? Look at all those draws. 2-2 against Blackburn, 1-1, and a 1-1 against Brentford. Kiefer Moore giving them the lead in a couple of those games, only for them to concede a late goal against Reading and a rubbish goal against Smithies against Brentford. So Cardiff's home form is really what stitched them up this season. 26 points in 21 games. That's poor. I wonder if Wycombe will like the look of those last 4 Cardiff home games, where they lost to Watford, drew with Stoke, lost to Forest, and drew with Blackburn. Interesting. Very interesting. It's a shame, but Wycombe's away form, big picture, is really bad. Nobody has fewer points away from home than Wycombe. However, they have got 5 points in the last 3 away games, including victory at Rotherham, and 0-0 and a 2-2 with Coventry and Swansea. They were 2-0 up against Swansea, weren't they, as well? They're having a really good go of it at the moment. Wycombe. Dare I mention cats and pigeons with this game? Am I allowed to? I haven't played my Joker yet, you lot. I haven't done it. Let's have a look and see what you guys are saying. Moving out. There you go, Tom. He knows his Billy Joel. Can I do a clanging name drop? I had a AAA pass for Billy Joel at Wembley last time he was in England. Beautiful stuff. Wycombe, draw. Wycombe, draw. Wycombe, Wycombe, draw. Cardiff, Wycombe, Wycombe. Billy Joel, Wycombe, Wycombe. Cardiff, Wycombe, Wycombe. Extremely unhelpful draw. Wycombe. The beast lives. Yes, he does. Draw. Cardiff, Cardiff. Wycombe, Cardiff. Unhelpful draw. Akinfenwa first goal in the championship. Go back and watch Alpha. Watch our stream on that, because that got raised about 90 seconds before he scored. Wycombe, 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 Wycombe. Thank you, Chris, looking that up for us. No news on a Matt Crooks appeal. Wycombe. I'm not playing a Joker in that one. Sully. Cardiff. Was that AAA pass battery powered? Oh, it was genuine. Okay. You know exactly what I'm about to do, don't you? I will be playing my Joker on this one. Away. I see a relegation-shaped cat. No, a relegation-shaped bunch of pigeons. And I want to throw a Wycombe-shaped cat into the middle of it. So I am going to do that and predict an away win. Why the hell not? Look, Cardiff's home form's not good. Wycombe are on a nice little tear. Cardiff are on the beach, aren't they? So why not? It's my party, and I will cry if I want to and make silly predictions if I want to. Okay, Middlesbrough versus Sheffield Wednesday. You see the little arrow down by Sheffield Wednesday. Wednesday could be relegated. Get your predictions in, please, in the Adam Reach derby. Have I got that right? Predictions in, please. Borough, draw, or Wednesday. Get them in the comments. Borough, draw, or Wednesday. Borough, fresh off that win at Rotherham, have reached 60 points. They are well and truly on the beach, 14 off the playoffs and 21 off relegation. They're in the plush part of the beach there, really, when you think about it. Wednesday have got 4 points in the last 2, and by God, they should have beaten Bristol City with 10 men for all of that time and missing a penalty as well. So let's do the boring maths again. You keep your predictions coming. Borough, draw, or Wednesday. If Sheffield Wednesday lose, their maximum upside will be 45. So a Wednesday defeat coupled with a derby victory relegates Wednesday. If Wednesday draw, their maximum upside will be 46. So a draw will be enough for this round to keep Wednesday in the hunt. And of course, if Wednesday win and Derby lose, or Derby don't win, Wednesday are within a game of the Rams. And everybody remember, last day of the season, Sheffield Wednesday versus Derby. Let's do the homes and aways. Borough, 8th best home team in the division. Defeat last time out against QPR, but a draw against Watford before that. Back-to-back wins against Preston and Stoke before that. Unfortunately for you, cat amongst the pigeons fans, or owl amongst the cat amongst the owls, owl amongst the borough. I don't know what am I talking about. Wednesday are the worst away team in the division. Just that one victory I can see on my screen, which was at Barnsley. They've got it in them, guys. They have got it in them. They just never do it. What are you guys saying in the chat? Let's have a look. Okay, Wednesday, 0-0. Home, who's that? Borough. Wednesday, draw. Wednesday, Borough. Borough. Borough, Borough, draw. Borough, draw. Borough, Borough, draw. Draw. God only knows. Draw. Borough. Of course, Mr. Warnock with his love for Sheffield Wednesday, Borough Wednesday. Quite mixed on this, aren't we? There we go. Didn't Colin say he would beat Wednesday for Ruddock? Probably. He's a little naughty bugger, isn't he, Mr. Warnock? So I've already played my Joker, haven't I? So I can't make a prediction now without using logic. I think Wednesday might take the lead, but ultimately not win. So I'm going to go for the most unhelpful. Draw. So Wednesday would still be in it, but if my results happen, Wednesday would have 40 and Wycombe would have 40. I had Rotherham losing as well. My results actually put Rotherham bottom. Sorry to Rotherham fans and Iain, who I haven't seen him today, but he won't be pleased with my predictions at all. What are you going to do, hey? You got to call it as you see it. Right. Who's next, guys? I'll tell you who's next. We need to do a little bit of S-housery and a little bit of pluggery here. Someone ordered one of these yesterday. I get to see the stats. Thank you, whoever did that, because they got 20% off by being a Benjamin Bloom subscriber here. So go to Cards Plug and stick your photo in and do all of this gubbins here. I am a 92 rated central midfielder, God damn it, playing for England and Benjamin Bloom FC. Here are my stats that were scientifically worked out by a group of top football scientists. These are great. They're really, really cool. You get a wall mounting kit as well. I'll probably stick it up at some point when we're not doing the promotion anymore. But good present, especially if you've got gamers or kids or whatever who might like them. 20% off your order at Cards Plug. Visit www.cardsplug.com/Bloom and also enter the discount code Bloom at checkout. Do both. As I said yesterday, go in the secret entrance, not in the front door, in the secret entrance and enter the discount code Bloom at checkout. Cardsplug.com/Bloom. That's very Sean Connery, wasn't it? We're midway through Championship preview and predictions. We haven't been to the beach yet. Did we count Loftus Road as the beach? Kian Prince Foundation Stadium. I think we're going to the beach with Bristol City versus Luton now. So get your flip-flops out and get your predictions in. Bristol City, draw, or Luton. How do you see this one going? How do you do what you do to me? Who sang that? Jerry and the Pacemakers? Probably going to be wrong there, aren't I? Predictions in, please, guys. Beach ball here between Luton and Bristol City. Right, Luton perfectly on the beach. Let's work it out. Luton are 18 above relegation. Great score, by the way. And they are all so close, 17. So it's going to be... it's not possible, is it? So Stoke would be the other way around. Damn. So Luton are as near as damn it on the beach as you can possibly be. Bristol City, another disappointing night for them and another Nigel Pearson tongue lashing in the interview for his players. Get your predictions here. Bristol City versus Luton. Remember, Bristol City are absolutely terrible at home. They did manage to get a draw last time out against Forest, but I think, was it 7 straight defeats leading up to that? Only 4 teams have scored fewer points at home than Bristol City this season. Nigel Pearson seems very grumpy every time we see him. Luton, obviously, little bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. Luton, great total this season. 3 away wins lately at Forest, at Preston, and at Wycombe. And remember that ludicrous Luton away stat. They've only scored 12 goals away from home, and they have managed to get 8 wins and 2 draws out of those 12 goals, which is stunningly good. A win for Luton would take them to 60 points. Barnsley and Luton flying the flag this season for, and Coventry, really, frankly. Look where they are now for ex-League One teams. What are you guys saying in the chat here? Luton versus Bristol City. It's Bristol City at home, draw or Luton. on the beach. What have we got here? There we go. Right. Okay. Luton, City, Luton. 4-all. Luton. Was it Freddie and the Dreamers? Nice. Unhelpful draw. Luton. Couple of draws. More Freddie and the Dreamers. What did Jerry and the Pacemakers sing then? You'll Never Walk Alone. Draw. Towels are already on the deck chairs. You love to see it. Away. Beach by the sewer. Bristol City stinking it up. They are at the moment, aren't they? Away. Luton. What Pearson said in his post-match interview, not convinced he has the players on his side. He's pulling a bit of a Paul Cook here, isn't he? Not really a very good relationship there between manager and players. Was it Jerry and the Pacemakers? Someone else said. Might be one of those songs that's Ferry Across the Mersey. That's a tune. Might be one of those songs that's been recorded by loads of people. Go on then, guys. But I want only a single goal in this one. Away. I want Luton to have 13 goals and 40 points away from home. That would amuse me greatly. Won't amuse the Bristol City fans, though, will it? We better stay on the beach, hadn't we? The beach is also on the banks of the River Trent. Can you have a banks? Banks are literally not a beach, are they? You know what? The beach of the River Trent. You know, by the City ground, you sit by the hill, don't you? If it's a nice day, lovely place to go and watch football in Nottingham. I'm sure we can't wait to be back. Anyway, Forest versus Stoke. Predictions, please. Forest, draw, or Stoke. Stoke are really on the beach, aren't they? Seem to have been for a little while as well, because only got 1 point in the last 4 games. Dean Holden in there now, assistant manager to Michael O'Neill, who is surely going to be under some pressure there. 13th now for Stoke. Not good. I know they could jump up a few places if they can get, say, 7 points from the last 4. But if Stoke finish in the bottom half, not impressed by that in the slightest. Then I predicted they would finish in the playoffs, Stoke. How silly do I look? Don't answer that. Forest, I got this all wrong as well. I had Forest trending up now, and they had a little bump. You can see it there, 7 points just before this, and they had 2 points in the last 3. I don't get it. Championship. It's not as if I study it every single day, is it? There you go. There's the Forest form of late. Only the 1 win in there, and 3 defeats in the last 5. Home to Huddersfield, home to Norwich, and at home to Luton. So Forest have lost their last 3 home games. Stoke, just as bad, really, away from home, although they did have a little 4-point splurge there, but the win was at Bristol City, and we know what their home form's been like. Defeats against Birmingham, against Borough, and against Brentford. What are you guys saying in this one? Predictions, please. Bristol, Nottingham Forest, draw, or Stoke? I know where I am in the end. Right, where are we? First record I ever bought. Lovely stuff. There we go. Lovely day at the beach. Draw, Forest, draw, Forest, draw, Forest, Stoke, draw, Forest, 99, Luftballon. Not sure I think there should be an expectation of Stoke. I don't think they're playoff quality at all, because they've had 3 years of parachute money and they're richer than everybody else and they've got a really good squad. That's why they've got expectations. Ridley Scott, Ridley Dumpty. Draw. Forest are as bad as anyone I've seen this season. Draw. Oh, go on then. Houghton versus O'Neill. I'll join in with you lot. Draw. Have we had loads of draws predicted this week? There's never loads of draws, is there? Which means we need some decisive results in our remaining couple of games. 3 to go. We just want to get up to Derby versus Birmingham, really. That's the big one, isn't it? Coventry versus Preston, please. Coventry, draw, or Preston? Coventry, draw, or Preston? Get your predictions in. Coventry, well, we've been very, very complimentary of the brilliant run of late of the Sky Blues. And God, Could get up to 54 if they win this one. Imagine Coventry finished just on the edge of the top half, or God forbid, even in the top half. Look at that, 12 points in the last 5 for Coventry. Outstanding. And I keep saying, for those people that like to use the term bottlers whenever anyone loses a big game, you same people need to give credit to teams like Coventry, who, when the chips were down, go and win 3 games in a row, whatever the opposite of bottlers is. But they say clutch. You're a clutch player if you do that in American sport, aren't you? Why is that? What sort of clutch? Like you're clutching something, or the clutch in your car. My car doesn't have a clutch. It's an automatic. Anyway, Preston, good win against Derby. I mean, Derby are hopeless at the moment, aren't they? But what is that? 8 points in 5 for, what's his name? Frankie McAvoy, the temporary manager. Let's look at the homes and aways. Coventry, brilliant. 10th best team in the league at home. And I can massage that stat even more and say only 7 teams have more points than Coventry at home this season. Beautiful. Preston's away form, 4 in the last 2. Of course, we always mention, significantly bolstered by that brilliant winning run away from home at the start of the season. What are you guys saying in the chat? Right, let's go in here. Right, Preston, draw. Cov. Preston, Cov. Goodness me, Cov. Preston. You don't have to say sorry or late, Kieran. Just spool back and keep watching. Cov, Preston, Cov. Callum, form we're in, and that we're at home, can only see a Coventry win. I like that, Gazza. Coventry phoning their mum to say that they are safe. Coventry to finish above their landlords. You should have multiple jokers, especially. Maybe we bring a beach ball card out next time. Iain, if only we had a manager like Robbins. Oh, wait, we used to. Massive congratulations to Cov. Okay, then, I will join the Coventry loving home. What would that be? 4 wins in 5. 5 wins in 6. That'd be sensational, wouldn't it? Well done, Coventry, who look lovely and safe now, don't they? Right, Blackburn versus Huddersfield, and then we can talk about Birmingham and Derby, which I know you all want to. We'll get there, don't you worry. Predictions in, please, then, for Blackburn versus Huddersfield. Rovers, draw, or Huddersfield. Rovers, draw, or Huddersfield. A difficult one to call, this one, actually. So Blackburn finally got a win. But again, didn't I say that about Preston? It was against Derby, wasn't it? And Derby are obviously on like the worst kind of losing streak because of the time of the season and where they are in the division. Blackburn have been trending down for a long while, haven't they? Basically since December, really, winter time, when they were in the top half. Huddersfield are odd, aren't they? Because they look okay to survive here. All depends on Rotherham, doesn't it? But essentially, they're a win away from 50 points, and Rotherham would then have to win sort of 4 out of their last 5, which they're not showing any signs of doing at the moment. But I tell you what Huddersfield do, just out of nowhere every now and then, they just pull a weird win out when nobody predicts them to win. They just go and do it. Good to see Josh Koroma back from for Huddersfield, because he was having a great season, then got a bad injury, didn't he? Home form says Blackburn are 15th best in the division off the back of that victory against Derby. Away form says Huddersfield are not very good, but short term they have scored 7 points in 4. What are you guys saying in the chat? It is Blackburn at home to Huddersfield. Let's review the comments. Right, Blackburn, draw. Blackburn, draw. Huddersfield, draw. Blackburn, draw. Blackburn, draw. Blackburn, beautiful day with the bucket and spade and sand in your toes. Draw. Beach ball is out. Draw. Blackburn, draw. home, draw. Find it Blackburn. They still have a crazy... Do you remember, though, James? Blackburn punished a few teams with 10 men. And stuck 4 past Wickham and Coventry, I think, or was it Birmingham? I can't remember. I think there's like 3 games they won by 4 against 10 men, didn't they? Huddersfield has survived after a terrible season. Keep everyone on edge. The final game. Draw. Blackburn. Go on, then. I can go for Blackburn, I think. Home. And Huddersfield, I agree with that comment. Who said that they'll keep everyone on edge? Gaza. I agree with him. Huddersfield are going to survive, but keep you on edge until the end of things. Right. Here really is the big game because Derby can do a lot of damage in this game if they win to Sheffield Wednesday and Wickham, and a lot of damage to themselves if they lose. Get your predictions in. Huge game here. It is Birmingham visiting Derby. Derby versus Birmingham. Get your predictions in, please. Derby, draw, or Birmingham. And Birmingham are in really good form. Really, really good form. 14 points from 7 for Bowyer, I think. And only a very late penalty call against Forest, and they would add another 3, and they would have been on 51. So you have this thing of 2 bottom 6 teams who essentially haven't been very good, either of them, all season. But one of them is in very good form, and one of them is in very bad form. Now, in any other division or any other situation, we would look at that logic and predict the Birmingham win, wouldn't we? But then it's the Championship. And no one would be surprised if Derby won 3-0 or something ridiculous. Didn't Derby win 3 or 4-0 in the return leg in this one? So look, every bit of logic says Birmingham are going to win this when we base it around recent form and the idea that Birmingham look fresh and lovely and happy with a spring in their step under Lee Bowyer, and Derby look a bit grumpy under Rooney and they're underachieving and all of that narrative. Every bit of logic says Birmingham win, but you know the Championship, guys, don't you? So Derby at home. Well, I mean, prior to that loss, they did have 5 points in 4, which down the bottom is actually enough to keep you churning away. 1 above a point per game will do. But then defeats against Norwich, I mean, no shame in that. They're champions-elect, aren't they? Millwall, who always seem to do a job on Derby. Birmingham's away record, though, is the 12th best in the division. And, of course, just under Lee Bowyer, they are doing the business, aren't they? 1 at Rotherham in the watch-along recently, and 0-0 at Brentford. And Derby are going to have to cope with this sort of quite systematic, fairly straightforward football from Birmingham, which is working really, really well at the moment. Roberts' long throw-ins and Jutkovic and defending well and winning games. And that's the name of the game, isn't it? So quickly to reiterate, were Birmingham to win, they would get to 52. I mean, to all intents and purposes, they look pretty safe already. But again, because of Rotherham's vast number of games in hand, that being 2, and then they have 5 games to play, we won't mathematically be able to call Birmingham safe, even with a victory. Oh, yes, we would. Yeah, sorry, we would. There'd be 52 to Rotherham's possible upside of 51. But it's far more interesting to look at it from Derby's perspective. So a Derby win, as we said, finishes off Wickham. Wickham essentially then would be only able to match Derby's points total there of 46 if Derby did win. And, of course, their goal difference is 13 off, isn't it? So it needs a big swing. A Derby draw and one of, let's say, Rotherham and Sheffield Wednesday win, and the cat's amongst the pigeons, because then you've got a 2-point gap. And then we know we can change places at any given point in the next round. So it's just such a vital game. The big question is, regardless of what Derby do, and I know I'm asking for Derby and Birmingham predictions here, regardless of what Derby do, can Rotherham go and get a win, or can Sheffield Wednesday go and get a win? They're going, all of the bottom three are away, aren't they? Wickham at Cardiff, Wednesday at Borough, and Rotherham at Barnsley. Can any of them get a win this weekend, which would then put pressure on Derby should they lose? But are they going to lose? What do you guys think in the chat? Let's go straight to a super chat. Anthony, very, very kind as ever. Birmingham win, Barnsley win, Borough win. Borough. So he's not mentioned Wickham. But if that happens, then a Wickham win, and it'd be happy days for Wickham. Right. Anyway, let's just have a look at this and get your predictions here. Right. Derby on life support. Blues to win. Birmingham. Wow. Birmingham. Okay, I don't need to do any more, do I? This is completely unanimous. There you go. There's one, Liam. And a draw in there from Gaza. My heart says Derby, but yeah. More nervous about this than the playoff final. See how much bottled Derby have here. I'm really concerned, to be honest. I'll go Derby, though. So we've got a few in there. Live on Sky. Is it? Is that one of the 3 p.m.s? Okay, right. During the watch along, I'm definitely having this one on. So it'll be less a super stream then. I didn't realise it was live on Sky. I'll be all over that. And I've played my Joker, so this is not a cat amongst the pigeons. And this is completely in line with what you guys said in the chat. And you're all really smart. So that backs up my decision to go home. Not home, away. Birmingham to get the victory. I pressed the wrong button, didn't I? I built it up as well. I do seriously think that Birmingham is an awful opponent for Derby at the moment. I know Derby are losing to everybody, but again, let's put my championship caveat in that you've seen people pull out results in games like this where you just did not expect anything of the sort. Right, there we go. What a great show. Really, really enjoyed that, guys. Join me tomorrow. We will be live from 12:20. Now, remember, nothing is decided during the first game between Bournemouth and Brentford. The one thing that can be decided is Bournemouth can sort of be out of it, can't they, if Brentford get the victory. Then we'll do the 3 p.m.s where Watford could be promoted and Wickham, Sheffield Wednesday could be relegated. It's going to be a great day tomorrow. If John's correct, we can get Birmingham and Derby up on the screen as well and react to everything as we go. It's going to be a good time. I have a sense it may be the most exciting one of the season. This could be the one. We might get a dead rubbery round 45 or 46. So do join me tomorrow at 12:20. Let me know if you want to shout out. Stick them in there. And I'll give you a shout out before we go. Let's say thank you once again to the wonderful Donovan brothers who sponsor this show in loving memory of Michael Donovan, South East London, lifelong Millwall fan, admirer of this show. Thank you to the Donovans. Go and get involved over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for the super chats. Robin, Anthony, please tell me I didn't miss another one. But thank you very much, guys, for your support. Before you go, YouTube, thumbs up, subscribe. If you want to shout out, let me know now. And of course, Cards Plug, cardsplug.com/Bloom. Another way to support the channel, really. Enter the discount code Bloom at checkout. Get 20% off one of these bad boys. Very shiny in my light, isn't it? But go and have a look. Go and have a look on the website. Try it out for size. Put your own stats in. Right, so we do some shout outs. What do I need to press? There we go. Right, okay. Let's do some shout outs and say bye to some of our friends. Iain, 100% attention, not paying a tenner to witness a massacre. We'll get you involved in. Don't you worry. It's Blues as well. Take it to the last game. It's attrition at this point, and maybe not this season. Thank you, Martin. And we could have Hull going up. Thank you for reminding me, Liam. Leeds 2021. Looking forward to a nice Chinese tonight. Enjoy. Kieran's looking forward to next season under Lee Bowyer. Chris is going to be watching Morecambe and Bolton. Thank you, Robert. Very, very kind. There we go. Barnsley for promotion, and I'm going to get a 50 quid pledge. And Anthony will be a very happy bunny, won't he? Go on, Barnsley. Thank you, David Lewis, Adam, Five Bellies, Steve Sadler, Sophie, great supporter on Patreon as well. Sophie, thank you for your gift as well after our news. Liam, we'll see you tomorrow. Liam's always great on the super streams, watching about 10 games at once. Brilliant. John Merrill, Birmingham aficionado. Phil Howarth, Barnsley, thank you. Iain, we've already mentioned. Neil, Orange Peel, Jack, BCFC, Gaza, LDN, Bits. I will be at Portman Road. Will you? Oh, you'll be watching. Thought you managed to wangle your way in then for a minute. Get me in the press box, damn it. Kieran Houghton, thank you. Kel Bourne, Mark, I'm going to butcher this, aren't I? Is it exotic sounding? Is it Deshays or is it Deshays or something? Sorry. Complain privately about that butchering of your name. QPR forever. And I think we've already done Leeds 2021. Right, thank you, everybody. That was a great show. Really, really enjoyed that. I feel all energized. And Liam's just reminding me I need to prepare a whole video before tomorrow. Deary me. It never stops, does it? Right, thank you, everybody, for watching. Brilliant stuff. And it is over and out from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.